to say this guy was a viral sensation is an understatement. So I want to show not just the video of this guy, and as soon as it starts, you'll know what's going on here. It's Calvin. Calvin is the guy, but then there's also a little bit of backstory, which is very interesting. So let's watch the event itself and go from there.
It's Tika Tika! It's Tika Tika! It's Tika Tika! Hi, Boo! How's the fire? Oh, honey! Oh, honey! Oh, my God, you're alive! You're alive! Oh, honey! Oh, woo! 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 Yeah!
You're scaring him. You're scaring him.
Yes!
You can take him back.
Oh,
Right?
thank you, Jesus! Oh, thank you, God! NBC, where's NBC? Where are you, Liz? Thank you. Oh, honey, thank you. Oh, God Almighty. Oh, Jane.
Well, to say, I wish he would be a little more open with his emotions not when he found the dog. Okay, so here's what's interesting. Let's look now at what is effectively the backstory, I suppose, when he was a little more composed. It is a great story, and what I've done is I've gotten a few different stories from across the Southland there that have been reported on various animals having been found and rescued, and the folks helping them do that. So this is Calvin. This is still Calvin, but this is sort of the backstory about how it all began and how this unfolded for him.
Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Oh, my God.
My dog had been in the fires for 5 days. I started stuffing the missing dog flyers and all of my neighbors' burnt out mailboxes. I was desperate to get the word out. I was driving through the neighborhood squeaking the squeaky toy on the bullhorn, trying to get my dog to come out. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, and then I had a neighbor call me and said, "Your dog is sleeping in my chimney." I pulled up through the gate, way up the hill. I can see my filthy, confused, scared little boy. When Oreo went squeezing out from under the gate and we're reunited as a family, I was overjoyed. I felt like helium and oxygen were pumped into my lungs at the same time. My dogs are my children. That's the joy of a parent reunited with their child. It's pure joy. I love you, sweetheart. You all right? You good? Okay.
So he was so determined to
That
find
that is Oreo, the one that was found that was under the fence. But he already had with him. You saw maybe a little black dog. I think that dog's name was Tiki, and that dog had already been found. So just maybe an over the top exaggeration of how people might feel inside, and they aren't able to emote like Mr. Calvin was. But yeah, that's the way I think we feel about our pets and our animals. And in this situation going on in Los Angeles, where we're so glad that at least at this point. 24 people, I think, have died, which is an unbelievable miracle when you consider how many structures were lost, how many cars were lost. Oh, is Tubi a part of the witness protection program? Or what?
Tubi is not happy that he is being used to raise money for other dogs, I guess, or whatever. But you know what? While we were waiting, David Tuchman was able to get on. Donnie Moss is also waiting in the background. But why don't we bring David on and I'll start explaining exactly what happened and why we're here and how we got here.
I'm just
there he is.
Hi, hello everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Hi, I got you, David. So David, you and I are friends for a long time. We're friends with poker, right? And thank you for coming on. I know you had some trouble that I explained to everybody that you are displaced. You're in a hotel, your internet's not working, you're on your phone. But I was going through, and Michael, if you could put up the school picture I sent you.
Yeah, let me find that for you.
Okay. I was, just so everyone knows what happened here, I was scrolling through X, as you know, and I saw you, all right? I saw this, okay? I have no words of what's happening to my town. This is my wife's school. And I think I put something under there like, hey, buddy, you okay? And you got back to me and explained that you were displaced, that, your kid's school burned down, and you'll talk about this more. And I said, well, there's got to be something we can do to help. Do you need a place to live? And I tried to, give you a place here in upstate New York, but that didn't work out. And then we tried to get you, to a friend of mine, to a house. And unfortunately, they couldn't take your dogs inside. They could, you'd say, in the backyard. So that's where this all had. So what do you do with your dogs? And so tell us about what's happening, why this is so important to you, why where are your animals right now, and what's the charity that we're talking about that is taking care of your dogs right now, and your wife and your family and your kids too. I mean, tell us all.
Yeah, they're all important. First of all, thank you for bearing with this. I'm in a hotel, and for whatever reason, I could just not get on this site. It was driving me nuts. But anyway, I'm here, so it's good. First world problems. Yeah, so we have 3 cats, 3 dogs, a pig, and a bunny. We have a zoo, and you can imagine, finding someplace to stay with all of that was very difficult. And fortunately, we have some great friends that were, able to take a pig, and some other friends that took a bunny, and some other friends took the cats. But to get the dogs was quite difficult because, everybody's like, well, I'll take one. And, I through all of this trauma and everything that we've gone through, I know also the dogs have obviously gone through a lot as well. We're all dog lovers. And I was like, no, we have to find something that we could do together. And my wife kept calling her friends, and I was calling. And anyway, there's a great group here in Southern California called the Golden Retriever Southern California Rescue Group. And, we had worked with them in the past with a couple of studies for golden retrievers. Anyway, long story, as short as I can do it. Basically, I reached out to them, and this amazing woman named Delora got back to me right away and was like, hey, I'm going to find something for you. And not only, she didn't come up with one option, she came up with like 3 different options. One of the options was actually a firefighter, which just boggles my mind. I mean, here's a man who was, probably working 30-hour shifts and then 5-hour rest and then 30-hour shifts. And he was willing to take dogs. Anyway, we finally found a place, this wonderful place in Westlake Village. This wonderful family. They have a golden retriever, and they have another mixed. And they took our 3 in, and they've been sending me pictures. And the 5 of them are a pack. And it's such a relief for my wife and I, because it's just one less worry for us, knowing that they're loved and they're in a big backyard and they're playing and they're having a great time. And just for us, just kind of like put the pieces back together and figure out what's next, knowing that we don't have to worry about that. It's just, it's been amazing.
What town were you in? What town are you in? I know that town has a separate organization to try to help people, but not necessarily dogs.
Yeah, we're right in Altadena. So, I mean, where our house is, we're literally like a quarter mile from Eaton Canyon, probably, a quarter mile, a third of a mile from where the fire started. It was because of the wind, our house was somehow saved. Obviously, everything west of us is pretty much gone. My wife's school is gone. Both my boys lost their school. It's pretty devastating for the whole town. Like I said, the tweet. I mean, I have no words, but I guess you get through the fight or flight, and you just make sure that your family is safe and you're safe, and then you kind of look at, I look at my significant other, and we just kind of figure out, we're like, okay, what's next, right? And then that was when it was like, okay, well, the animals are safe. We've got to find a place for them for like, at least 10 days or 2 weeks, just kind of like, so we can figure things out.
Well, I don't know if it's going to take, it may take longer than that. So
yeah,
give us the name of the organization again that's helping. And I think we have a little thing, Michael, on
Yeah,
it.
which one is this? And I've got a scroll going on the bottom for most of what I thought we had.
Yeah.
Which one? What's the name of this one that I'm looking for?
This is the Golden Retriever, the Southern California Golden Retriever Group.
And that's, I don't think we have a logo for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know what? It's just a whole page. If you go to their whole page, you can find them, because they're very, I just printed out and said, we're here to help. It's hard to see. I mean, but we have their names on our scroll going down here. Like all of you, the SCGRR is devastated by the news of recent fires across Southern California. And then if you go to their page, their website, if you Google them, it has a place that you can donate to them, and so and fundraisers. So this, like, it's unbelievable. So they were that helpful, and I was looking at their page, David. They do a lot of rescue work, a lot of operation. They really, I didn't realize how big they were in terms of that.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously, I think a lot of people kind of look at like golden retrievers and they're like, oh, it's just for golden. They'll help other dogs too. It's just, I mean, like many groups, they have a focus on on a specific breed in that sense. The other group that I'd love to shout out is just the Pasadena Humane Society.
Right,
We
right.
we went down there and just it was great, the outpouring there. But I'm a big fan of the Pasadena Humane Society. It's fantastic. We got 2 of our cats there. They do amazing work. And if you can give, I mean, I think those are 2 amazing groups.
Yeah, and we do have that scrolling there, PasadenaHumane.org. Hey, David, let me ask you. So what's the plan going forward? Is the government helping, local or federal? What's happening?
I mean, we're still trying to figure it out and everything. So we're in a hotel right now. We're going to be here for about a week, and then the plan was to move to more permanent temporary housing.
That's a funny way to explain that. More permanent temporary housing, right?
Right. We're, like I said, our house was spared, so the eventual plan is to get back into our home. And honestly, at this point, like, the housing issue is, to me, I mean, that's obviously a big part of it, but that's secondary, because I think we have something about 10 miles east of where we live in a town called Arcadia. So we'll move there for whether it's 2 or 4 or 6 weeks, however long it takes, and then we can hopefully get back into our house. And then the bigger thing will just be, figuring out, schooling for, my wife. This was her second home, or the school. And to me, it was just the soul and the heart, the soul of the community, the school. It's where, I have an 11-year-old who went there and goes to the middle school now. And I have a 7-year-old who's in 2nd grade there. And my wife's been there for 12 years. And it's a very close-knit community. The school is as well. And to me, that's heartbreaking. And a lot of people and I tweeted this out on X, and I said, a lot of people, all my friends and everybody in the poker community, and they've been so generous, have reached out and said, "Hey, Tuchman, what can I do? What can we do to help you?" And I said, we're going to be fine. I go, but if you really want to help, help rebuild our school. That was my message to everybody on X, and the outpouring has been amazing. But as for what's next, I wish I knew. I guess that what's next is, we're still under mandatory evacuation. I guess once that gets lifted, we go in there and we get a restoration group in there to kind of clean up the house and the smoke. We've had a lot of people in the community kind of offer to help clean our house and get it back in. Maybe we have to replace some things here and there.
But you're one of the lucky ones. You're basically one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of a house, then we get back in and and then kind of make it a home again, and hopefully kind of make it as well like a home for the people that we entertain a lot, and hopefully we can make it a home for the people that have lost their homes as well.
Okay, so what David suggests, though, in terms of his animals are scattered about, but his 3 Goldens are being taken care of by the Southern California Golden Retriever Rescue. We put all the links that you can donate to them. Nothing's going to us here at Justice Serve TV. We're just trying to raise awareness. So if you can watching this and you can open your purses and pocketbooks and wallets and whatever else you carry, any credit cards, Apple wallets, and whatever.
They'll take it all.
They'll take it all. And also the Pasadena Humane Society, which I've been following since you gave it to me, and they do some amazing things. I mean, the animals, the dogs that take in and help, and it really is a compassionate care for animals. So 2 fabulous animal groups. When do you expect that you'll be able to get your turtle, your pigs, your goat, your family back together? And I use that, as poor Tubi is sitting over there trying, Mom, I don't want to be on this. If you notice, I have pet toys with me right now. This is truly about the animals here. A little dog. When do you think that that's all going to be able to get you back together, whether it's in temporary housing or whatever?
Yeah, once we get the temporary housing, I think we'll get them all back together. So the hope is next Wednesday. Next Thursday, at least we'll be all together again. And the hope is that will be the last stop until we get back into the home. And obviously, as I want to make sure, it's not just a matter of, obviously I'm worried about my kids, my family, and the smoke and the ash and all that, but it's also a matter of all the debris and the wind that was so horrific that blew stuff into our backyard. We really want to make sure that the backyard is safe for the animals as well.
And you've rescued a lot of these animals. I should say that you've rescued. Yeah, right. I mean,
one of our cats. So one of our cats during COVID, I came home and my wife says, "You can't go in the boys' bathroom." And I'm like, "Why?" And she goes, "Oh, I rescued a cat." Turns out the cat was pregnant. So we kept the cat for a while during COVID. And then, of course, we had to keep one of the kittens. We found homes for the rest of them and the mom, but we kept one of the kittens. The bunny, this bunny, I swear it has like 9 lives. It's like a cat itself. The bunny is pretty amazing. So the bunny was actually Avison School, the school that burned down, my wife's school. It was actually the school bunny. And over the summer, they have chickens as well there. And over the summer, there was a bobcat. It's right into Eaton Canyon. It's like right next to the thing, right next to the mountain. There apparently was a bobcat or a coyote incident, and the chickens got killed, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And they called up my wife. We were out of town, and they were like, my wife was like, "Where's the bunny?" Anyway, they found the bunny, and they were like, "Well, what do we do with the bunny?" And my wife immediately goes, "Well, just we have a backyard. We have a little wooden fence area that we have a pig and everything. Just put it in there and kind of cordon it off, and we'll put the bunny in there." Anyway, of course I knew. My wife was like, "Oh no, we're just gonna keep the bunny for a couple of weeks, and then we'll put it back to school." I knew better. This is now our bunny. But I kind of think about it. I go, the school kind of was pushing us to get the bunny back. And if the bunny had gone back to the school, this bunny is dead. Oh. So I mean, the bunny, I don't think realizes just how lucky this
probably not. No.
This bunny
the bunny's really lucky. It's outsurvived a fire. It's got great parents.
Coyotes, bobcats. Yeah, this bunny has dodged death a couple of times.
Yeah. No, it's great because
well, it's got 4 rabbit's feet, so it's got to be lucky, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But no, it's great to see that you've survived a quarter mile from where the fire started. But you needed help with your animals, and that's why again, if you can donate all to the Southern California Golden Retriever Rescue, to the there's a GoFundMe for the Eaton fire in Avison that you can go find, and also to the Pasadena Humane Society, which, by the way, the Pasadena Society is the small group, right? The Pasadena Humane is a designated evacuation center for small animals, right? And they're taking everybody. Large animals, the designated center is the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds in Lancaster, California. So, I mean, there's all these organizations, and we're just focusing on the 2 that basically have helped David and his family, David Tuchman and his family, trying to get through this.
I mean, I can't say enough about both of them. Like I said, I mean, I just don't know. Obviously, we all love our animals, but there are kids, and there are and I just don't know what we would do if, try finding a hotel that'll take 3 dogs, 3 cats, a pig, and a bunny. It just doesn't exist. Yeah. So we feel pretty blessed with all the support we've gotten, and obviously Pasadena Humane Society and the Golden Retriever Fund has really helped.
Yeah. Well, thank you for bringing this to our attention. You get LKB going on something, and watch out, step back. So we're grateful that you were there for her to stumble upon, and your friendship, and now hopefully we'll spread the word and get a little more support for these important organizations. Best of luck to you and the family.
Thank you. And well, listen, if I'm when I get home, I have I have actually a professional setup. I'm a broadcaster by trade, so I feel so like unprofessional. I'm on my phone, but anyway.
Yeah, shame on you for not having a more professional setup. What is wrong with you?
I should have done it anyway. Hey, thank you both for doing this. Seriously, no matter what it weighs is, I think it's great.